everyone, and welcome to Jack and Cat Adventures. Today we're going to be making a whole meal. We're going to do chicken, asparagus, and Swiss cheese, and then we are making double baked mashed potatoes. So what you're going to start out with is 3 pounds of potatoes, peel and slice them, and cut them all pretty much the same size so they cook the same. You're going to add 8 cloves of garlic or more. Put cold water in here about 2 inches above your potatoes, and we're going to boil them for about 25 minutes or till fork tender. Alright, so my potatoes are fork tender, they're done. I drained them off, and now I'm going to put them in a ricer. The ricer makes the potatoes real smooth. If you don't have a ricer, just use a potato masher. And what I do is after I do that, I do put it in my mixing bowl and then I mix all the ingredients together. So I'm going to do this. I'll show you how to do it. You just put a few potatoes in at a time. It gets a little messy, but that's okay. They're delicious. Alright, and then all you do is you press this down. Like that. See how it gets those potatoes really, really small?
Like grains of rice.
Yeah.
Fogging up the camera.
And that'll help with your lumps in your potatoes too. So what I do is I just push it back in over that because it does make a mess, like I said. And we're just going to continue doing this until the potatoes are done. Alright, so I have my potatoes riced, and I'm going to add to that a half a cup of sour cream. Now you want all your ingredients to be room temperature. If they're not, kind of warm them up in the microwave so that they're all the same temp. You don't want to add cold stuff to the warm potatoes, they'll seize the potatoes. You're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. Make sure it's unsalted. If you use salt, cut back on the salt that I'm going to tell you to use, okay? This is 2 teaspoons of kosher salt and a ½ teaspoon black pepper. Alright, so now we're going to mix this together. Helps if I plug it in. I have this problem all the time.
You and that plug.
I know. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to start out on low. And you're going to need a 9 by 13 pan, and you're going to butter it generously. Alright, so now I'm going to just put this up a little bit more, and I am only going to add a little milk at a time. Now there's a ½ cup here. I don't know if it's going to take even a ½ cup because these look very, very moist. So I'm just going to add a little and see where we're at. Alright, and then you're going to get 1 cup of cheese, and you're going to put half in your mixture, and then we're going to do half on the top. So I'm going to put this in, and if you want more cheese, you can put more cheese in. I probably will. I just want to see how far this goes.
It's not going to go very far.
Now, the recipe calls for cheddar cheese, and I have 3 cheddar here, so we'll see how that tastes. Alright, we're going to add a little bit more. I'm going to keep that half there just for the top. I think I'm going to add a little bit more because my family really likes cheesy potatoes. So, you know, you can add as much as you want. Just be careful of the liquids, because once you get this too watery, you can't bring it back. Alright. Jackie, you want to try these? Need more milk?
I think so.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay. We'll just add a little bit at a time. Because we are going to bake these again and they will dry out. So make sure you do have enough liquid in them.
Excellent flavor though.
Good. Alright, I'm going to check this. Tastes delicious. Mm-hmm. You know what would be really good in here? Some cut up green onions.
Scallions, yeah.
Scallions. You can do that, and you don't need to cook them. Just sprinkle them in, or when the potatoes are done, just sprinkle them on top. That would be really good. Okay, so now I'm done. I didn't use all my milk. I used about 1/4 cup. I think my potatoes are wet enough. Here, let me get another spoon for Jack's taste, and then we'll go from there. I think they're good, but remember they have to be baked again, so. Need more butter, milk?
I think you need to put the milk in because
Okay.
when they bake, they're going to get
Alright.
dried
I'm
out.
just going to put the rest of that milk in. Jack spoke. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, like I know what I'm doing. All I do is eat.
Just be careful because it's going all over. There we go. Okay. Alright. Now you're going to have your oven preheating to 350. And we're going to pour this in our prepared pan. And this is easy. You can make these the day or two ahead of when you need them. Just put them in the refrigerator about 30 minutes before you're going to bake them. Pull them out of the refrigerator and let them sit at room temperature. And then just go ahead and bake them the normal way. Okay. Let's just spread this out evenly. And see how smooth that ricer made these? You have no lumps in these potatoes. I like lumpy potatoes, but some people don't. Okay, so let me wash my hand real quick. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just sprinkle the cheese on top. It's definitely going to need more than 1/2 cup.
Yeah, that cheese looks a little anemic.
A little. Alright, here we go. Let's just add this. And like I said, you can add any kind of cheese you want. I think Swiss would be really good in this. Maybe some Gouda. Smoked Gouda. Okay, so there it is. It's ready to go in the oven. I'm going to wait to put it in until we do our chicken, and that's what we're doing next. So bear with me. Now we're going to make asparagus cheese stuffed chicken. And this is just a made up recipe. There's no measurements. It's very easy if you're just starting out. You use what you like to use. So in this I have some flour with salt and pepper. In here I have seasoned breadcrumbs and plain panko. I like to throw a little bit of panko in there because it gives it an extra crunch. And then on 2 of these I'm going to use the Dijon mustard, and the other 2 I'm just going to do plain because my kids don't like the mustard. So what you need is you need some asparagus, and you're going to cut it as long as your chicken is. So, and it can stick out a little bit. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you get the really hard ends off, and that's why I'm cutting them like that. It just makes it easier. If I was doing this to make in the oven, I would have just broke them off at the ends. Okay, so now you're going to take your chicken and you're going to butterfly it. Now when I say butterfly, I mean only go part way through. You just don't want to go all the way to the other end. So kind of hold your chicken like this and your knife like this, and just be careful you don't cut your hand off. And just cut through. See how nice that opened? You can open it a little bit once you get it open. Just don't cut through. So what we're going to do with these now is I'll make the ones without anything in them. So we're going to do 4 pieces of asparagus. Well, maybe 5. Okay. Then we're going to put Swiss cheese in it. Now you can use any kind of Swiss cheese you want, or you can use any kind of cheese you want. I'm just using Swiss because I need to use it up, and I like Swiss with chicken. So I'm actually going to use a whole piece, but I'm going to cut it in half and make it like kind of fit overlapping. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pull your chicken over, and you're going to want to tuck it pretty good, and then you're going to stick in some toothpicks. Just make sure you get it really tight if you can, okay? And I'm going to do the rest of these. I'll show you what I'm going to do with the Dijon after I finish the last couple. Okay, so now I'm down to my last two. I'm going to put some mustard on it. Now you can put anything you want on it. I mean, you don't have to put anything. You could put just regular mustard if that's what you like. I think the Dijon, this is with champagne in it. I think it just gives it an extra little flavor. Okay, just gonna put some more of this in. Okay, so we have these all done. We ended up tying them with kitchen string because the toothpicks weren't long enough. These chicken breasts were pretty big. So in a pan, you're gonna heat up some olive oil. Just a little bit, enough to fry in. And then what we're gonna do is, here, like I said, I have flour with salt and pepper. I have just eggs beat up, and then in here I have the plain panko and the seasoned breadcrumbs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into the flour, coat it pretty good, because this is what all your stuff's going to stick to. Okay, and then shake off the excess. Just roll it into the egg mixture. Make sure it's all covered. I just use my hands, it's just so much easier. And then I'm going to put it into the breadcrumbs using my dry hand. Got a toothpick in here. Okay, so let's just do this. Now, you don't want to cook this all the way through. We're going to finish it off in the oven. I would say between 20 and 30 minutes, but check your chicken with a temperature control, or thermometer actually, you want it to be 155. So, you know, keep checking it in the oven. The reason I'm doing it at 350 is because I'm going to put our mashed potatoes in that we made earlier at 350. They take a half hour, so all this should be finished at the same time. So I'm just going to turn this up a little bit more because I really want it to get warm. And I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'll start frying them up and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I fried these up on all sides, and I'm getting ready to put them in the oven. Now remember, we're going to check them at 20 minutes. We want them to be 155 degrees. Our potatoes are going to take 30 minutes, so they might have to sit, these might have to sit and rest for 10 minutes, but they need to rest for 5 anyways, so we'll be like 5 minutes either way. Okay. Okay, our dinner's done, and here's our chicken. The chicken took about 30 minutes, and the potatoes, when I took the chicken out, I moved potatoes to the top shelf, and I turned it up to 400 just to get the cheese brown on the top. And the potatoes took about 40 to 45 minutes, because I think I did 30 and then I moved them up, and I think it was like 10 minutes for the cheese to brown. Just keep an eye on it so the cheese don't burn. Please try this recipe, and if you do, give me any criticism or whatever you want to say. I'll take it off the cuff, don't worry. And I would like you to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.